Welcome to the part 2 of the AmReco series. In this video we'll explore the project after installing AmReco. It's pretty much just an ordinary ASP.NET MVC project with a couple of differences, several differences in fact. One major addition from AmReco is this AmReco configuration files, which we have like, I don't know, maybe more than 10 configuration files. We're not gonna look at each and every one of them at this point. In fact, I'm gonna just point out most important ones for now, and we'll have a look at the others later. One of the most important configuration files is this Umbraco settings.config file. See this link here, just go to this link and have a look at it. Pretty much a developer will be touching this file when he's developing with Umbraco. For example, we can stop the caching, Umbraco caching, using these settings, which is not recommended by the way, but maybe for testing purposes you might want to stop the caching and then directly grab data from the database. So you can do this from this configuration file. There are a lot of configurations available to you. You can read about all these configurations by going into this URL. If you want to create a website search, you will be using the examine index and the examine settings.config files. These files will be used to create an indexer and a search provider, which in turn will be used to create a website search. We'll have an in-depth video on how to create a website search later on. And you also have this TinyMCE config file, which will be used to configure the rich text editor used in the Umbraco backend. So if you want to configure the TinyMCE rich text editor, you want to look at this file here, TinyMCE config file. And there are other configuration files which we won't be looking now, but we'll later come to this folder later on. We also have these two folders called AmReco and AmReco_client folders, which we'll be not touching. These are folders that contains files that has something to do with the Umbraco backend. We don't have to touch these two folders. And inside the views, you'll find this macro partials folder, which will contain views related to macros that you'll be creating from the backend. We'll have a look at this functionality later on. For now, just keep in mind that all the views related to a macro will reside in here. We also got this media folder which AmReco will use to store all the media files that will be used. We'll be uploading media files from the AmReco backend, and the AmReco will store all those media files in this folder. And another important thing to mention would be the inside the app data folder you'll find a file called umbraco.config, which is basically where the AmReco caches its content. So from all the content will be cached in this XML file. Basically each and every content in AmReco is an XML, and this file here will contain all those XML data. For now, I guess these are the ones that are worth mentioning. Pretty much basically an ASP.NET MVC project. We'll start developing an application in the next tutorial. Until then, bye bye.